Man, Tuck.
What's up?
Man, let's talk about this, man. How this show just kicked off.
Yeah, bro. So we was just on the phone chopping it up, man, and we said, nah, let's pause right here and let's go live, man. Yeah, honestly, I need to put that in the rule book. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be like a Cowboys content rule book. Like, hey, y'all start talking Cowboys football for more than 10 minutes, just go live.
Hey, facts. Because, see, people have no idea how many dope conversations happen behind the scenes before we actually do shows,
Right. And how many dope conversations actually lead the shows. And salute to my guy, Rome, DMV. A lot of times we just say, like, we be talking for hours and hours, like, why we just didn't go live. The same thing with us, boss. Like, let's just go live, man. That's a new rule for 2023, man.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody's ready for that. That's a big commitment, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just glad somebody like you, we able to just stop on the dime and do content. That shows obviously the season that you have, the community that you have, and just the readiness.
We stay ready.
Yeah. And then you doing, and I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to go live so bad because you was cooking, bro. You was behind the scenes. You was giving me so much sauce. I was like, wait. Whoa, let's just slow this down, bro. Let's just go shout out to you, man, and the observations that you're already getting out of training camp, the new media boys. On the Saturday edition, giving you this overtime. On fight night, we still gonna give you some football on fight night. So real quick, before we actually just kick it off, what's your thoughts on the fight tonight?
Ooh, man, I've been going back and forth, man. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I had to put my money on Dallas, man. I had to put my money on Dallas. I feel like it's gonna be a battle, man. I feel like Spence being a southpaw, he might be able to rough off for a little bit. The Crawford's in the war. He's been in wars, man. So I kept going back and forth, man. I thought it might be with Poirier. Poirier's in the trenches and stuff. This boxing thing. I'm just gonna roll with Dallas. I'm gonna roll with Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, he's Cowboys fan, so I'm gonna roll with him.
Yeah, and
I'm mad because I'm supposed to be there right now with my guy DMV in the building.
Boy, Tuck, you should have went to that, bro.
We had everything booked, man. My brothers and my friends was coming with me. They backed out on me last week, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, dog, I don't know. And DMV was like, man, just come on out. So I was going to leave from Vegas to Oxnard. And I was like, nah, bro, I'll just go to Oxnard, man. I missed it. I missed it.
Okay. So you had a choice between Oxnard.
Now I was going to do both. So I was going to go to Vegas tonight and then stay there till Monday morning, then fly out to Oxnard from Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But,
gotcha.
But the idea was I was taking my dad for his birthday to Vegas, but he canceled. My brother canceled. Two of my good homeboys canceled. So I was just like, we still rocking. I'm about to watch it here at the crib.
Yeah.
Saturday night. We got some Cowboys football to talk about though.
Yeah, we do, man. So y'all sit back, kick your feet up, relax. Tuck and your boy Boss go be right back to give y'all these updates on this training camp. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Ooh. Man, that boy. Ooh. Man, let's go. Alright. Let's go. Alright, let's kick it off, Tuck.
Let's do it.
Oh, wee. Alright, so first things first, the reason why we had to go live, bro, like, give us the update on what you was talking about on October. I gotta hear this, dog.
Yeah, man. I said it loud and clear, balls. If I had to give an MVP to the first week one of camp, it's Jalen Tolbert. Clearly, y'all. Clearly, Jalen Tolbert has taken that leap. And it's not just a physical leap of what you're seeing on the field, it's also a mental leap. And Brian Schottenheimer came out and spoke about it as well. And salute to my guy, Law Nation, also Shango, the OG Shango. I saw something, bro, and it was something small, but it really stood out to me. And when everyone was coming out the tunnel, guess who Jalen Tolbert was coming out the tunnel with?
Who?
He was coming out with Brian Schottenheimer at his hip. He was at his hip. He was talking to Coach Schottenheimer, talking, coming out to the field, like getting really locked in. And Coach Schottenheimer even said this in his interview the other day, that Jalen Tolbert came to him and said, yo, do you mind if I see the playbook ahead of time? And he's just talking very highly about Jalen Tolbert. Dak Prescott is speaking very highly, and you're seeing it translate already in camp, where it looks like the kid that I scouted last year out of South Alabama. And Jalen Tolbert's not thinking. He's just going out there playing, and you see the physicality, you see the swagger. We got the clip. We'll show the clip here in a second, man, but he runs this sluggo route. It's just clean, the breaks. It's just all there, man. So if you're a Cowboys fan, you got to be excited by what you saw week one when it comes to Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah, let me go ahead and show that sluggo real quick, because let me go on now. It's not gonna be as pretty. I'm not playing it on the prettiest thing, but listen, we gonna make it work. We gonna make it work. So I got it right here. Go ahead, Tug. Let's break down this sluggo. Watch again.
Yes, go ahead. So I think that's who's 37. I can't tell what that number is. But just watch him come off with this release and fake the inside to push the inside leverage. So we got sluggo, so like a slant and go. Right, boom, quick plant, look at the hips low, and then that cut, Chris, chopping blades, getting upfield, coming back, making a play, and leaning towards the goal line, man. Like, that's swagger. That's the Jalen Tolbert who I saw in the Senior Bowl, right? So just the way he's getting off his routes, he's feeling a lot more comfortable, and I like his release. I like his swagger. I like his hips. I like his movement. Everything's starting to seem a little bit more fluid. And the game is slowing down offensively for him. And not just for him, some other wide receivers who we'll talk about here in a second as well. But just watch the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, the way he plants, the way he sells the inside slant right there. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even with that, the hand fighting, because that's what he did at South Alabama. Like, he was a guy who was a deep threat that can hand fight, go up and high point the ball, go back and get it. Like, he can do a lot of these things, and Cowboys Nation just really didn't get to see it last year, but you're seeing all that translate just in this one clip, and there's tons of other clips when it comes to Jalen Tolbert. And I know Patrick Nosey Walker speaking highly about him. Kyle Humans even had a tweet. He said, listen, if there's anyone that can come out and really take this wide receiver core to the next level, it looks like Jalen Tolbert is ready, man. So I'm happy. Because, like I said, boss, I stood front line last year. I was kind of worried. You know,
Me
he had
too.
a little worry last
I ain't
year.
gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? But, man, he's getting off to a great start. Yeah, I think it was Scott. I think that's Eric Scott Jr.
Yeah, that was Eric Scott. Now, who threw that ball? Because that ball was underthrown.
I can't even see. Let me go back and see. Was it? I don't think it was.
I don't think that was Dak, bro.
I think that might have been Greer, possibly.
Yeah.
A rush. Yeah, I couldn't tell by the numbers, but whoever it was, he had to go back and get it, and he went back and got it. You know what I'm saying? So just those instincts are starting to kick in, and I think it's really coming in with the change of the offense. And I had some haters like, Tuck, you're crazy to blame Kellen Moore's offense on Jalen Tolbert. Like me and Boss, for everyone who followed my channel and follow Boss Cowboy Sports, we laid out all these pillars and mountains of evidence when it came to how Kellen Moore's offense was impacting some of our young wide receivers, and specifically Jalen Tolbert. So it's not a news flash for y'all, because y'all are aware. But there are people out there who still like, how could you blame the offensive coordinator, right? You're hearing the conversations of when Tolbert was on West Coast's and Henny's interview and Landlord's interview about simplifying things, just not having an understanding. So I feel like this year, now that he's in the playbook, Schottenheimer has said it, McCarthy said it, Dak has said it. He went to Georgia with Dak. Like, he's been tied to the hips with Dak. Like, the learning aspect has slowed down. Now he's able just to go out there and play the game. And this is where it's going to get fun for Jalen Tolbert. So once again, you got to be excited if you're a Cowboys fan.
Another thing that got my attention when we was on the phone is you was like and emphatic about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You said basically wide receiver 4 is locked up, just from what you said. Yeah. It's his right now. Like, we were kind of having a conversation. Could it be Tolbert? Could it be Simi? Could it be this or that? Like, it's Jalen Tolbert right now. Damn. Like, Jalen Tolbert would have to have a historic fall off or an injury
to lose that spot. But just looking at things right now, he's the clear-cut wide receiver 4. And honestly, this is not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if you go online, kind of look through clips and everything, you're hearing a lot more about Jalen Tolbert than you're hearing about Michael Gallup. Now, we know who Michael Gallup is, right? But right now, Jalen Tolbert was the week 1 MVP. We got a lot of football left. The pads come on next week, right? But he is going to be heavily involved in this offense, and I feel like he's going to take the reins. And superstar Aisha, we'll talk about that here in a second.
Yep.
But
what's up,
yeah,
Aisha?
like I feel like with Jalen Tolbert, I feel like he's going to be wide receiver 4. He's going to be that guy.
Yeah, what's up, Aisha? She is in the building. Yeah, man. And see, my thing is, Tuck, it was the confidence you spoke in, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I was like, wait. Because, see, I was talking, we was talking casual, and he was like, boss, listen. He said, Jalen, he got it locked, bro. I said, wait. I said, wait. Whoa. I said, slow down. Wait, what? He was like, no, boss, it's going to take a miracle. I said, wait, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's in there. Because like the excitement really came from, boss, is this was the guy that I saw. You know what I'm saying? Early in the draft process last year. And it just went away. And honestly, it was a head scratching moment for me, because I was like, there couldn't be that much drop off, because people have to remember Jalen Tolbert was offered numerous times to transfer to the University of Alabama. This is Nick Saban. So if he would have went to Alabama, he would have probably been even higher than what he came out as. So, even as a 3rd round pick, I was very high on this kid just because of the intangibles and the skill set that he had. And if you go back to last year in the Senior Bowl, he was cutting up in the Senior Bowl last year. So when everything kind of hit the road in Dallas, I was thinking, what is wrong? Like this ain't right. I just never seen a kid kind of just fall off the cliff like that. But hearing the way he spoke about it, hearing the way other wide receivers spoke about it, it did make sense. And for him to kind of get out the gate and already start making leaps and bounds as a 2nd-year leap, you got to be excited for, what I'm saying, if you're a Jalen Tolbert fan, which I am, because I'm very high on this kid. I feel like, the one thing I worried about last year was don't let it kill your confidence. That's the one thing I was hoping, like sometimes you get out to a slow start. We know how Cowboys fans can be. You read everything online, so it's like, I didn't want that to kill his confidence. And now that I see, his confidence is perfectly fine, it's all systems to go when it comes to Jalen Tolbert. So I'm excited.
All right. So that is getting even better now. Because this is something else that we talked about last year, right? We talked about how 2 players was affected by the overcomplication of Kellen Moore. And Aisha
just confirmed
with no prompting, dog.
yeah.
No prompt before. Like this is why I was like, we gotta go live, bro. We gotta go live, right? Because she said what you were saying to me earlier about Turpin. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, man. So we know Cavante Turpin was out because he just had a brand new daughter. Congratulations to him. He just pulled up to camp today and it started cutting up. He was cutting up today, man. Like, there's a play where he was in the slot lined up against Kelvin Joseph and he ran a whip route. And when I said it was so clean and so sharp as an underneath route, it was damn near unfair. And so it's like, these were the things we were asking last year. It was like, even if he doesn't understand the offense, right? And even though he's kind of a USFL project, just get him the ball and let him do things in space, because this is what he did at TCU. Like, people forget, like, he was a dynamic kind of Tyreek Hill type weapon when he was at TCU, so it's like he definitely has the skill set. And just seeing it today, like, he was just killing in space. Like, he pretty much couldn't cover him, especially in that slot. And with those underneath routes and the way that our offense is looking thus far, there's been a lot of mesh concepts, which we talked about frequently on my channel and yours, which is crossing routes, like getting wide receivers the ball in movement. And when Turpin gets the ball in movement, it's pretty much one missed tackle and he can take it to the crib, because we've seen that in his special teams ability, man. So with the wide receiver core, I also talked about another guy, when it comes to Brandon Cooks, Cavante Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, like, the offense feels faster. And it really reminds me, boss, I remember 2020, we had the pandemic team, and Mike Nolan was the defensive coordinator. And then when I went to camp in 2021, Micah's rookie year, the defense just felt faster. It was just a faster pace because they wasn't thinking. They were just going out there, reacting, and just playing ball. I'm getting that same feel when I watch our offense already. Everything just feels faster and more in sync compared to what it was last year. So, across the board, I'm extremely confident, much more confident, of course, with the wide receiver room than I felt last year. But Kevontae Turpin, like I said, he just got to camp today, dropped his bag off, and started acting up out there at camp.
Man, shout out to DC Universe. Aisha out there giving us some content. She said, getting him reps on offense, I think, will help settle him in and let him flow more as a returner. Get him comfy. So I guess you're talking about Turpin.
Yeah, probably with Turpin. Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. Like sometimes as a kick returner, you kind of just waiting for things and waiting for your moment, and especially now with the new rule change. So it's like if the rule's going to change, especially for kickoff, with that speed, with that agility, with that elusiveness, you just got to get him the ball. Like, what I'm saying? Like, you don't overthink it. And, Dak even said this in his interview today on NFL Network that we had to wait all damn day, what I'm saying, to finally get. But he talked about, Mike McCarthy has an emphasis on just getting playmakers the ball.
Right.
And he said that like numerous times, like, it's just get the ball to our playmakers, because that's going to be his emphasis this year.
Wait, Tuck.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. We didn't get to that part before he said let's go live. My bad.
Man, we didn't get to that part. Man, you can't take a break. God dog, man. So, see, you be talking too fast, bro. Slow that down. See,
my bad.
Because everybody that follow our channel should know that was a big emphasis to both of our channels, is a system that intentionally targets your playmakers. So, like, for instance, when we was out there, me and you was talking to Jay Novacek. This was the very discussion we was having. Somebody said, get Aisha in the panel box. I tell you what, if she give us another fire comment, I'm gonna send her the link. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna just send her the link. But go ahead and Tuck, elaborate on that, bro. God dog.
Yeah. So remember, we did a show before before the season even kicked off, right? And I forgot, was it in camp where Mike McCarthy said, typically when he said what I personally would do is I had
that was during the season after Tampa.
After Tampa. Okay. So when Mike McCarthy said it, it's like typically what he did as a play caller, he had his whole separate play sheet for his playmakers. He had a Jerry Rice sheet. Like, you know what? These plays are just to get Jerry Rice the ball. And so he's going to put an emphasis on that. And for here, Dak echoed that today. He was like, the things are going to be kind of similar to what we did last year as far as language. We want to keep the language simple, but there's an emphasis on playing faster, understanding why we are running the play, and getting our playmakers the ball to do what they do best. And I'm just like, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Get a check down to Tony Pollard, get a screen on Tony Pollard, get him out in space, and just chill, Dak. You don't have to be a hero. And I think that's the one thing where the interceptions really came to play. Dak kind of had to press a little bit because the talent just wasn't there. This year, a simple whip route with Kevontae Turpin could go to the house. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like a simple underneath throw to Tony Pollard could go to the house. And so you stack those types of weapons in our offense, Dak is not going to have to press. The one thing he's going to do is just get the ball. I know they're going to tag it as a game manager, but damn what, I like being a game manager. You get the ball to your playmakers, let them get out in space and do what they do. So, I think it's going to be just a different breath of fresh air when it comes to this offense. And Mike McCarthy also spoke after Dak, so I'll pause there. I don't want to go too much.
No, keep going, bro. No, pause it. I'm soaking all this in, bro, because this is actually the first time I heard this stuff.
Yeah, so Mike McCarthy, he spoke. He sat down with Brian Baldinger, and he kind of talked about excitement for being a play caller. He's like, what he really missed was the competitive aspect of looking across the field and having that chess match with the defensive coordinator. I'm like, I can't hear that. So that's what he gets up for. He says all he's really ever known. So that's what he's looking for the most. And the thing is, he's not going to completely revamp the entire offense, right? He's not going to just completely take everything out. He wants to find what is comfortable for Dak, what is comfortable for his playmakers, keep that in house, but just mold it as far as the protection language is concerned, and also just making sure that the reads are more simplistic for everyone to understand. So, Mike McCarthy sounds very enthusiastic when it comes to the new opportunity of being the play caller in Dallas. And he was like, I just love the challenge. Like, this is what I do. This is what I got in this business to do. So, I'm excited to see how everything is going. And if you hear from Dak Prescott to Simi Fioco on Blogging with the Boys to Jalen Tolbert to every interview, everybody offensively is excited. And it's not that fake excitement. Like, yeah, we're going to come out there and, we're going to keep focusing and practice. Like, they are from ear to ear smiling about what's going on with this offense. And I'll say one thing, man, another wide receiver, y'all, and this is where me and Boss had to cut it and just like, let's go live. Brandon Cooks, dog, we gonna be out there just shooting arrows all over ATT like goddamn Hawkeye. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is just unstoppable. And the crazy thing, I didn't know this until Dak talked about it, that Brandon Cooks is younger than Dak Prescott.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of people kind of think that Brandon Cooks is old. He's younger than Dak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he made plays today, stretching the field, getting deep, getting over the top. I mean, his routes is crisp. He has an understanding. He's a hard worker. And the best thing about Brandon Cooks is the very first guy that we talked about. That's Jalen Tolbert's new mentor. I mean, hell, they kind of look alike to me. But that's Jalen Tolbert's mentor. Like, he has really taken Jalen Tolbert under the wing and kind of molded him. So I felt like that's something that Jalen Tolbert was missing last year, because we really didn't have no veteran guys until we brought in, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Gallup was in his recovery. So, overall, man, this wide receiver room really got me excited. I know that's the blanket for Cowboys fans, but from what we had last year to what we have this year is completely night and day.
So you just laid out a lot. So from your gut, your eyes, and I would say you got great eyes. I can vouch for you. Hold on. Whew. See, y'all getting bonus. Aisha out there giving us courtesy content.
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much. She says CD says that Brandon Cooks is the best thing that's happened to him, and I believe him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Jalen Tolbert.
See, because Tuck, this is one thing I can vouch for Tuck and say this. I mean this. If Tuck not saying it, he not gonna say it. He is not gonna give you that wee woo. Let me see if I got my wee woo button.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
He not gonna give you that wee woo. So to see my boy like excited, and this is what I said. I wanted even just one of these guys to flourish after Kellen Moore.
Mm-hmm.
We getting confirmation that we got two.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. And then on top of that,
one just got to today.
Oh, talk to me.
Turpin just pulled up Rockstar.
Okay. I'll see what you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, and see, I don't know Tuck. So first of all, also on top of that, clap it up real quick. Because this is very, very unprompted. No, like, we didn't know we was gonna talk about this. It was just too fire. I was like, hold on, wait. I'm hearing too much good. Let's just do a show. And see, let me tell you why you gotta clap it up for the homie Tuck. We wasn't even supposed to do this to Monday. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm gonna be out there for the pass, boss. But he out there and he getting it, and he's seeing it, and he reporting it. And this is what's even doper. Aisha is in the chat confirming it. Like, this is just, oh my God.
Yeah.
So for anybody that wasn't excited about the offense, how can we not, Tuck? How can we not? Just, could you elaborate on that, bro? Like, how this is so big in terms of the changes that we want to see.
Yes, you have to be excited, because I know a lot of people, the low-hanging fruit, right, is Dak Prescott. He's coming off his worst season, which it really wasn't his worst season, but whatever. Well, let's just go with that, right? But I feel like the thing that's going to help Dak Prescott is just the team around him. Think about where we were this time last year. Like, I think this time last year, James Washington already got hurt by now. So he was already out. I think he got hurt where like day 2 or something like that at camp. Like he got hurt early, right?
Yeah.
So he was out the picture. You had Michael Gallup still out battling injury. It was like a huge unknown of guys that hoping that Noah Brown would be something and prove us all wrong. And then it was uncertainty. This year, when it comes to the wide receiver core, I don't have that level of uncertainty, man. There's a lot of talent, and there's some guys also cutting up at camp already that we haven't even spoken about who's still in the clip as well. So I just feel like from an offensive standpoint with the wide receiver room, it's going to help our quarterback, and helping our quarterback is going to help our offense just be more efficient around the board. And I'm excited about that because I know that I at least have a guy who is now calling the plays that knows how to get his playmaker involved. We've been on the other side of that numerous times when Mike McCarthy was in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it firsthand. I don't think that I'm going to be sitting there watching a game where our playmakers or CeeDee Lamb's just getting one-on-one coverage and he's not getting any looks, right? So I just feel like everyone's going to be more excited to play in this offense because you're going to get your opportunity if you show that you can show improve. So I'm excited, and all Cowboys fans should be.
Man, now, this is the second time this show that we had somebody from San Fran and somebody from Philly that said Cowboy fans need to get the likes up.
Yeah.
Wait. We got to take a break on that just for 1 second, because just for 1 second, wait. Let me repeat. We have San Francisco fans and Philly fans saying these balls are dropping good content with Aisha. And we not getting the likes? Oh, my God. Listen, y'all. It's just courteous, especially when boys just jump in and start laying out what they seeing. Unprompted, ready to go. Tuck is laying out all his notes impromptu. Aisha is in the chat laying out her notes impromptu, right? You getting firsthand insider with new media right now. Can we get a like, dog? You know. So anyway, I
just gonna say, and what people have to understand when the power of the likes really does. Cowboys fans in particular, it's a big fan base. So there's a lot of people who don't have this insight that we're talking about. Y'all are spoiled. Y'all watch my channel, y'all watch Boss, y'all follow Aisha. So y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen everything on the fly. But there's some Cowboys fans gonna be out there and clueless about what's really going on with their team, and what y'all do by getting those likes up and sharing the content. It brings more exposure to more people and say, oh, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about this Jalen Marino Cropper kid. Like, I never heard about him before. But by doing that, it just kind of expands what we do here in our community. So I appreciate all of y'all. But it's we do it for the love, the passion. But it takes a community. It takes a community. There's still a lot of people out there still need saving, Cowboys Nation. Y'all know. Let's help save those people.
Yeah. So and I know y'all got love, because what happens, and this happens to me, tell me if this happens to you, Tuck. How many times have you jumped in and the content was so rich and you got into it that you just forgot to hit the like?
All the time.
All the time. Like, it happens. So we not lecturing y'all. It's
right.
But it's a friendly reminder to get the damn likes up.
Another one.
Run it up.
Yeah, run it up.
Let's go. All right, so we was also yeah, run it up. All right, real quick. We was also talking about the competition at running back 2.
Yeah, so the running back 2 position, it's a little tricky still, you know what I'm saying? Because the pass really haven't came on, but they've been in rotation. Malik Davis has been getting a lot of the earlier carries as of right now, after Tony Pollard, because Tony Pollard is out, right? So it's been Malik Davis, but I'll tell you this, like, Deuce Vaughn has been heavily involved as well. And you're seeing Deuce really heavily involved in the passing game as well. So, I just think that, if I'm looking at things, the one guy who's still kind of a question mark is Ronald Jones. He went in on a few series, but it's just like, just rotational. So, I think that Malik Davis is going to have the running back 2 job. It's going to be his to lose, but they absolutely 1,000% have a plan for Deuce Vaughn in this offense, because once again, he gives you that shiftiness, and as far as elusiveness is concerned, that you can use him in getting out in space. Because remember, the West Coast offense, sometimes, a quick sweep or, a quick screen, that's just an extended handoff, right? So it's going to count as a pass, but it's an extended handoff, right? So Deuce Vaughn is going to be a guy they're going to want to kind of get off in space, get matched up versus linebackers, and use him as a wide receiver / running back. So as of right now, I'm looking at the running back room after Tony Pollard as Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn. Hunter Luepke got into like some end of practice reps, nothing too crazy. And Ro Jones, they're going to finally scrap it out with Rico. So I think Malik Davis is going to be your running back too, and rightfully deserved. I'm very high when it comes to Malik Davis. That's my guy. So.
So it looked like that doghouse stuff is not applying anymore.
Yeah, because dog catch you gone. You know what I'm saying? Dog catch you gone.
Yeah.
LA, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Brian Brothers. He laid out that nugget when he was on the final word. Like, appreciate you greatly. Now, real quick, so we not seeing a bunch of Runner Jones at all?
I mean, he's kind of in the rotation. So I'm looking at like who's going in with the ones and the twos.
Okay.
And when it comes to the ones and the twos, it's been Malik Davis and Deuce Vaughn. Now, I will say this, of course, next week the pads come on, so that might change. But just based off of week 1, Malik Davis and Deuce Vaughn have been your primary 2 running backs with the, when Dak is out there, and also when Cooper Rush is kind of with the second team. So, they might have a plan for Ronald Jones. It's just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is yet. And maybe he's just a veteran guy in case of emergency, in case they see something that, hey, Deuce and Malik can't carry it. But as of right now, I would probably lean towards Malik Davis being your running back 2, unless he loses the job, which I highly doubt he would, because I think that he's the most balanced running back that we got, probably.
So real quick, this is let me tell you why I think new media is a major advantage to content. Because first of all, remember we just had West Coast on, right?
Yeah, and correct. He and Ronald Jones did have some reps with the runs, but it was like through different drills. So like they rotate, you know what I'm saying? But I think for the most part throughout camp, is what I'm talking about, is that it's been Malik Davis and Deuce Vaughn with the ones and the twos.
This is why this is important, what I was saying about this new media stuff. We just had West Coast on. West Coast, as far as I know, I don't think y'all talked, in terms of, what's going on. He said what you're saying when it comes to Malik Davis, except he said it a little bit more emphatic. He said if the season started today, the guy that's going to be the Tony Pollard, minus Tony Pollard, he said Malik Davis, just based on it. So it just shows you the value of having separate people out there working, right? Separate people out there using their eyes, giving their input, keeping their notes, and then they come on this show, or we merge content and we verify it. So it's showing you that Malik Davis, just from the new media guys, West was first, Tuck is confirming is second. It looked like the plan is currently that running back 2, and rightfully so, is Malik Davis. It just makes sense. So it's also confirming, this is what I want to talk to you about. Oh, yeah. Appreciate this. My boy D Schiff. Said, boss, think about what y'all talking about. Ain't no way they giving us this insight anywhere else consistently. Nah. The only way you go get it is if you talking to people that's actually in the building, like Aisha. That's it. You know what I mean? Right. That's what somebody like her, she gonna give you more. But in the terms of the being able to cross-reference, right? Where you hear somebody said that didn't talk to this person, but they're saying the same things. That's how you know it's pretty much for the most part as been reported by new media guys like my boy J Tuck.
Yeah.
So my question for you though, and then hopefully my questions is answering some of y'all questions. What's going on with throwing it to the running backs?
Yeah, so you're seeing it frequently, and like I said, you're specifically with that guy right there, in Deuce Vaughn. And like I said, Dak in that interview on the NFL Network says, "Hey, you can't be afraid to check it down, and you have guys who can definitely make plays even when you check it down." So, with Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, I think you're going to see a lot of possible checkdowns as well, and throwing to the running back because even though Deuce Vaughn was a bell cow back at K-State, he did have a lot of plays where he was able to get out in space and actually beat you deep. He has good hands as a wide receiver. So I think that's definitely in the play because that's how traditionally Mike McCarthy's offense was ran in Green Bay. Like their running backs got a lot of balls that are thrown their way historically in the West Coast. So I think that's why you're kind of seeing guys with that elusiveness, kind of that hybrid types that Mike McCarthy's going to get out in space and kind of using that kind of Christian McCaffrey role. And it's all going to help Dak Prescott because
hold on, Tuck, wait a second.
All right.
See, Tuck, you be see, I got to slow Tuck down, man. That boy slow.
I can't go. I get my bag, man. I
see. That boy got in his bag. He got the cookie and he forgot. He done threw some shrimp at us. He done threw some steak, threw some potatoes. Like, wait, slow down, bro. Oh, man, because see, go. I want to slow you down because that cookie that you was talking about on Mike McCarthy and the usage of these backs was something that really, in my opinion, gave us a tremendous advantage. And you can see it, especially the Minnesota game. That was one of the best games in terms of us rushing the backs as well as throwing to the backs. Like, can you speak to the potential of this offense with what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, specifically that Minnesota game, right? I think that was the game where Dak hit Tony Pollard on the deep route, the deep wheel route.
Yeah.
And Tony Pollard just said that in Dak's, what is the NFL 100, whatever that thing is that they're doing. He was like, he talked about Dak Prescott. He told him, like, listen, this is going to come your way. Be ready. And that's when Tony Pollard said that, you call it, I'll haul it, right? So it's like, yeah, you showing guys that can get out and beat linebackers and possibly some safeties in coverage as well. So it's only going to open up your offense tremendously, and we really have to respect it. And think about this. Now that you have a Brandon Cooks and you have a Jalen Tolbert and you have CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup that you really have to be fearful of, you have to kind of wonder, how do you shift your coverage? Because if you get a linebacker matched up on Tony Pollard, I'm taking that one-on-one matchup every day because a lot of people forget Tony Pollard was more of a kind of a wide receiver as far as his usage was when he was at the University of Minnesota. So he definitely has that skill set as well. So I think that Mike McCarthy is definitely going to take advantage of those mismatches a lot more than what we saw historically throughout the tenure of Kellen Moore.
So we getting some questions now that's directed towards you. We go get some calls too.
Okay, cool.
We'll get some. If you don't mind, we can take a couple of calls. My boy Blackwell said, who is Wee Woo Cowboy? He said, Tuck, who is quietly making the plays that not many is talking about?
Well, a guy that's starting to make plays, he had an interception today, is Tyler Coyle. So Tyler Coyle is getting some reps from Donovan Wilson, kind of safety. So he's had like 2 big days as of late. So he's not getting much regards, but he had a good day. He had a good day today. He had an interception versus Will Grier. And there's just that open opportunity. So I would say Tyler Coyle is a name that's having a good day. A good camp so far, I'll say. But also, another wide receiver that I'm extremely high on, y'all, is Jalen Marino. Like, Jalen Marino is another guy out there who's a shifty slot wide receiver that can do a lot of different things. And we saw the catch day one, and he's just been a reliable source and reliable target. And Dak likes that. Like, I remember you did the video last year, boss, on Dennis Houston. Like, he likes guys who can get to where they need to be and know where they need to be. Well, Jalen Marino is one of those guys, and he has a chip on his shoulder as well. So I would say Jalen Marino, Tyler Coyle's another guy. And it's hard to say, yet, y'all, because defensively, when it comes to like the junior Fiocos and like some of the edge rusher guys, we'll see that Monday when the pads really come on. Because right now they kind of just, half shells. It ain't just really, grimy in the trenches as of yet. So I would say kind of my unexpected guys, and also Eric Scott Jr. Eric Scott Jr. is having a good camp as well thus far. So I would say Eric Scott, Tyler Coyle, and Jalen Marino at this point.
And I used to say that's the West Coast. Lots of running back uses. My favorite part is the check down. Me too. Like that's my favorite part is leak it out to them boys. Let them get that ball. Oh man.
Right. Yeah.
So to see that, that's what I was trying to ask Tuck. Are we seeing more of that out there? Like, or does it seem like it's a major part of the install? Because right now they're in install. Like Mike McCarthy said, they working on the foundation. The first 8 days of this training camp is, the install. Now, Aisha also came out with some. I want to get you. I want to talk about this. Let me put his picture up. Wait. Let me put your picture up because she said this twice. I heard this say this when she was on your channel. She's doubling down on it now. She said Luke is going to shine when those pads come on. I personally think he would end up being your best pass protecting running back. Ooh.
Yeah. And I saw someone ask in the chat, right, who's going to be your short yardage guy. There he is too. So
wow.
I feel like where Hunter's really going to, because he got some reps, but like I said, you're just running through with shorts on, nothing too crazy, but you're going to see the burst and the power with this kid. And here's another thing. He can also catch too. So it's like, I feel like Hunter Luke's time to shine will be next week, like Aisha said, once those pads come on. But he can do a lot of different things, y'all, and he might be your pass pro guy. So I would honestly have him in the mix over Rico and also Ronald Jones. It's just hard, because I just feel like they put a little extra in the bag when it came to Hunter. I just feel like he does a lot of different things. Mike McCarthy's eyes light up when he speaks about him. He kind of just has that blue collar, Green Bay type feel to it. I feel like Hunter Luepke is going to be a guy that we're watching preseason. Once preseason starts, that everyone's going to be raving about. So yeah, I agree. I agree with everything Aisha said. And I think that's a lot of people are waiting for it. Like Tuck, I haven't heard anything about Hunter. I haven't heard anything about Hunter. It's not his time yet. It's not Hunter's time yet. It's not Mozzie's time yet. It's not Tyler. Next week, y'all. Yeah. That's when we're gonna separate the mice from the men. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's really gonna get fun, and we'll see, what these players are really about. But I think Hunter Luepke is not gonna have any problem when it comes to translating at the NFL level as far as the running backs concerned, the passing game and the pass pro game.
Yeah, my only concern with Hunter, especially when you compare him to Zeke, right? One of the things that Tony Pollard talked about, we're gonna take some calls. Tony Pollard talked about that Zeke was selfless to the point to where he would spend time in the offensive lineman rooms to know protections.
Right.
Like he knew blocking schemes. And like he also spoke about that Tony Pollard was saying that he would even pick up people that wasn't his responsibility because he was that aware of the blocking assignments. Yeah. So that's a very big thing she's saying about Hunter, because if we can get just that, very reliable on a 2-minute offense to come in and understand not just your blocking scheme, but other blocking schemes. If he able to do that as a rookie, bro, we'd have struck gold. Like
undrafted, Rick.
That's crazy. So I can't wait to see it, because that's something that if we can have somebody super reliable, because people do sleep on that, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're spot on. And I just think that a lot of people talk about Zeke and like, Tuck, it's just pass pro. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, yes, it is. Because I was actually talking to Baldy today on Twitter about, Micah Parsons rushing from the A gap. He was like, Micah Parsons rushing from the A gap, that's a running back's worst nightmare, right? But let's just flip it. If that was to happen to the Cowboys, who's going to take something like that on? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to take something like that on? Tony Pollard, bless his soul, this is not his role. Malik Davis, he has the stature to do it, but he's still very green. You know what I'm saying? So is he going to have the IQ to be able to pick that up?
Right.
Ronald Jones would kind of be your veteran. Then after that, Deuce Vaughn, bless his heart, he's fine. That's not going to be him. So it's either going to have to be Ronald Jones or Hunter Luepke, that's really going to be your pass pro guy that can pick up A-gap blitzes and B-gap blitzes. I tell you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, I'm sending everything your way to see if your running backs can pick up this pass pro.
I'm sending everything.
I'm sending everything first, and then once you leak out Tony Pollard and get me cooked a little bit, I might ease off a little bit.
Right.
But out the gate, I'm gonna see what you're really
I'm gonna
about.
bust your running backs in the mouth. I'm gonna see what they made of.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if Tony Pollard can really take this punishment when I'm sending, all these different blitzes, at his way, and can he pick it up? So yeah, I think that someone's gonna step up and emerge. But if not, I mean, hell, Jonathan Taylor just requested a trade. So.
Hey, but just to echo your point from another dimension, like I think it's a misconception of what happened. Because a lot of people mad that Malik Davis didn't play that much for San Fran, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's a major misconception on why. If you are Kellen Moore, who would you want? Zeke
Elliott.
Why?
Because that's your guy. You know what he's about, and he get the pass pro as
that's
well.
it.
Pass the ball, right?
Your third one was the main reason. And I put you on the spot. I didn't tell you what I thought. I just said why you think so. Yeah, it's because if I'm a pass happy OC, I need the running back that's gonna help my quarterback pass, and that's who Zeke.
That was Zeke. Yeah.
So none of the running backs got the touches. That's why it didn't even matter that Pollard went out, because he wasn't running them. They wasn't getting their attempts. Under Kellen Moore, and Mike McCarthy, like in terms of his running down ball philosophy, I don't think he's dogmatic about it. I think he's thinking more balanced with it in terms of, I know I need to have about 30 touches to be complimentary, and he's going to consider throwing to the running backs just as good as handing it off to them. So any way that they get their 30, he's going to be cool with it, from my opinion.
Like, yeah, it's going to be touches, not carries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 30 touches. Yeah,
right. Which is for Tony Pollard, you know what I'm saying? Like that's perfectly fine with me, right? It doesn't have to be run because it's going to keep the defense on their toes.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to keep them honest, and so it gives you it's going to open up the play action. It's going to open up a lot of different things if you're making the defense play honest. So just like Aisha said, though, Monday the pads come on, then we'll see who's the pass pro running backs. Because we'll sit out there and say, hey, they ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Once the bullets started flying, they're not picking up, right? That's going to be an important piece. I don't care what offense you run, you're going to have someone back that can protect the quarterback slightly. If one missed thought, it impact our season. With your quarterback back there. So we'll see next week. That's when the fun starts.
So we got the call line open.
Okay.
Jay Tuck is allowing us to use his eyes. And he's giving us a lot of sauce. And while we wait on y'all to call in, let's clap it up for the homie, man. Just coming in here doing a solid job of being ready. Huh?
Clap it up for yourself, man.
You know how I clap it up for me. You know how I do. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, boss. I was curious if y'all could talk a little bit about the comments Jerry Jones had about Zach Martin, and the other thing, Luke Shoemaker and his injury.
All right, we got you. Who am I speaking with?
Chris.
Chris, we got you. We gonna talk about that.
All right, bet.
Yeah. So for those who do not know, my first reaction is just goofy, right? Jerry being goofy. And he piggybacked on what he said last week. But they asked about Zach Martin's contract, and he said, we're trying to work things out, but you got to understand, we got to pay this guy back here and Micah Parsons soon. And so it's just like, bro, Micah Parsons' deal is probably not going to need to get done. I mean, have to get done until 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But it's once again, it was Jerry Jones just saying Micah Parsons. Like, why'd you pick Micah Parsons out of everybody? You got to pay your wide receiver first. You got to pay your quarterback first. But I thought a few days ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we say we don't speak on players' money in public? I thought that's what he told me.
They cracked him. They cracked him, Tuck. They cracked him. They kept asking till he cracked.
They got him away from Mike McCarthy. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? They got him away from Mike McCarthy and moved him on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what happened. But if you watch the questions right, saying Mike McCarthy's gone, that media swooped around Jerry by himself. He was out there signing autographs and everything. Jerry was feeling himself today, saying they asked him that question. He said, "Oh yeah," you know what I'm saying. we got to sign Micah Parsons first, and all this stuff. It was like, Jerry,
Hey, I'm gonna be
come on,
fair to
man.
Jerry, man. I'm gonna be fair to Jerry. You ready?
Yeah.
I think Michael Parsons was the perfect example.
For what?
Because when you talking about Zach Martin, I heard a lot of people when they defending paying them now, they say it's gonna free up cap space to give him an extension. But they don't talk about the dead money, right? The dead money hits will likely be hitting right when it's time for Michael Parsons to get paid.
Right.
And see, that's one of the things that Stephen Jones talked about is the 5-year budgeting that they do. You know what I mean? Like, when we talking about Zach Martin, it's not just 2023.
Explain for those people who don't understand dead money, boss, because I know some people don't understand what that really means.
I'm glad you said elaborate, because so with dead money, that's money that the team is going to be accountable for regardless. All right.
Yeah,
so when you sign a new contract, you might, let's say if you have an average, I'm just throw out a number of 30 million. Let me just throw out a number, right? The cap hit for that year might be only 15 million. But then the next year, there could be a dead money that if you quit, get injured, that you still gonna have to pay out, and that's still gonna be accountable to your books and your budgeting, So to think about Zach Martin from 2023 with as many good players as we have coming is irresponsible to budgets, and why budgets got to be considered even with Michael Parsons.
Right. Because so what boss is really saying, let's say for instance, right, you extend Zach Martin, which I believe they ultimately will do though.
Yeah.
And you have the dead cap, let's say 19-20 million in the 2025 season when it's time to talk about Micah's contract, and Zach Martin's wife says, you know what, I think it's time to walk away from the game of football. You can't get rid of that money. You have to pay that money regardless. Or let's say, for instance, Zach Martin's on a decline, right? And even though, and they consider trading him, you still have to eat that dead cap. So if he's not on the roster, you still have to eat that dead cap money, which could impact negotiations with Micah Parsons. So that's when people explain that. So there's a lot to consider because, like Boss has been saying, Zach Martin's kind of skipped the line a little bit, So, I feel like they're going to get that situation worked out. I just hate how Jerry kind of just tossed out Micah Parsons. Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of reneged on what you said, a few days ago. You don't speak on people's contracts in public.
He should have held to it.
Yeah,
but
stay
disciplined.
Right. It is what it is. And I
it is what it is.
What was Chris's second question?
He talked about Schoonmaker. Didn't he say?
Oh, yeah. So I feel like with Schoonmaker, man, I mean, I don't say I told y'all so, but I told you so.
Well, let's talk about it because I want to jump on that. I told you so a little bit myself.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like with Luke Schoonmaker and the plantar fasciitis, I think I got that right. He said it was like a partial tear, and sometimes a partial tear is more complicated than actual full tear. So there's a possibility he might not return until the end of camp. So if we're looking at it from that situation, you have a guy who missed rookie camp, missed pretty much all of camp, missed all of preseasons. Can you really toss him out there in the fire once the season starts? So I feel like from the tight end standpoint, now you have to talk about Jake Ferguson really being that guy, which I believe he can. Hendershot being the tight end too, I feel like he can. And then possibly keeping kind of Sean McKeon in the cuss until you figure out what you actually have in Luke Schoonmaker. Are you going to put him on the injury reserve? Like, what's going to be that situation? So, I wouldn't count on Luke Schoonmaker playing any this preseason. I mean, the way he kind of talked about it, so the way the staff's talking about it as well. So,
well, Schoon looking like Schoon,
right? I mean, yeah. So,
see, because listen, I'm gonna just say this about Schoon. It was concerns about his injuries when we drafted him, bro. This is not new for those who've already done their homework on this, bro. We was already kind of like, that don't mean that he's gonna stay this way, but for people that said that he wasn't this way, he was already injury prone. So we just hope this is the good news though. The Dallas Cowboys clearly have the best medical team on the planet, for real. Going to Aisha's point, can we talk about Steele, Tyrone, and Ty? Because this is one of the things. I was noticing this when I did the show with West Coast. It's not just Tony Pollard on that cut. Look at Steele, Tuck.
Right. Moving.
Look at how he moving. I'm like, look
Right.
at, ooh,
Right.
look at that boy. Look at.
And even watching them move like that, I'm still holding on for dear life. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, get up off the ground, get up off the ground. You know what I'm saying? Put your feet up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Boy, that I love to see Steele move. It's hard to find a tackle that move. Like, look at, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Show me a tackle in the league that move like this, man. Watch how he hit that. And then Tony Pollard just come up out of there with that ankle looking smooth. Woo!
It gets you excited, man. It gets you excited. 'Cause here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand the amount of injuries we had to battle last year. Like, you know, like that was a part of our story, and a lot of people want to toss that out. We had tons of injuries. Lost our left tackle, turned around and lost our right tackle. We were, you know what I'm saying? Like, we turned around and lost our quarterback. Like, there's a lot of different injuries going on last year. So to see our team, as of right now, kind of fully healthy,
man,
it gets me excited. And to see Terrence still to be able to move like that, and I should also mention Tyron and Tyler as well. Those boys are moving. You know, like I said, the fun for them is going to start on Monday. When the pads come on, and you know what I'm saying? Then that's when they get to, you know, show out and get their highlights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna get no highlights, but I'm gonna get y'all them highlights of what's going on in the trenches. Like I said, my pay-per-view matchup is all I want to see when Tyler Smith lines up against Mozzie.
All right, and Tuck will be back Monday when the pads come on. This is just bonus you getting today. Nope, we didn't plan this. We was lit on the phone. We was talking for about 6 minutes, and it was like, wait, bro, what are we doing, bro? This is show content.
Right.
All right, hold on real quick.
So many times.
All right, we're taking another call. Boss Cowboy Sports with J Tuck. Let's go.
What's good, boss? What's up, J Tuck? This is D shit, bro.
What's up, D?
Not much, man. Man, I just heard y'all slightly mention Mozzie's name just now. So I wanted to ask y'all, J Tuck's at camp?
Not yet. I will be out there on Monday.
Is Tuck out at camp?
Oh, he can't hear you. You can't.
Oh, okay.
No, but I'm asking. I was asking you. My fault.
He gonna be out there Monday.
Okay, man. Because I was looking at Sam Williams in an interview, and so you know he started speaking on Micah. You know, and how Micah's just one of those guys that like, you know, you can have those rah guys, but like it comes out more respectful when you have a guy that's actually like can do what he's saying. You know. But then, you know, he also talked about Mozzie's strength. So I just want to see if Tuck had or you had any insight as far as the, you know, the strength and where he's just immediately jumping in. At I saw a couple clips of him handling some starters. I think it was Biotish. But just those thoughts, bro. But good show as always, bro. I'm gonna sit back and listen.
I got you, D. Appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
All right. So here we go. And D Schiff, he sent me the link of that Sam Williams. I actually listened to it this morning, so I know exactly what he's talking about with Mozzie. Did you hear that yet?
No, I didn't hear the interview, but I could probably. I know he's probably talking about when it comes to Micah and Mozzie. But from what I've seen thus far from Mozzie, you know, like I said, once again, y'all, the pass isn't on. It hasn't been his time to shine. But the thing that stands out about Mozzie, I'm seeing his work ethic. Like, he's always working with Coach Durden. Like, he's always getting those extra reps in. So, you know, I feel like the strength of Mozzie is something we all just know just draft season. Like, that's what he does best. But the thing that you're seeing just in shells as of right now without the pads, you're seeing him get to the quarterback. And that's when it's going to get freaking scary, y'all, because he talked about in the interview that at Michigan, he always felt he could get to the quarterback, but that's not what they asked him to do. So he wanted to do what his team needed him to do to win games, which rightfully so, right? You want that from your players. But if Mozzie is able to get interior pressure, it's going to open up things for the edges like Sam Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Micah Parsons, and make things even more scary for our defensive front. So, you know, next week, like I said, that's the pay-per-view matchup, is to watch Mozzie Smith in the interior, bang with Tyler, bang with, you know, both Tylers, you know, in the interior, and you're really going to see that strength. That's when Mozzie Mania, I feel like, is really going to start this next week.
Yeah, and When did we know Tyler Smith was a monster? Like for sure, no.
Like preseason, like once the pads came on. So
Once
I was
the pads came on,
yeah, the pads come on.
that's when we saw the highlights of him dunking Osa.
Right.
That's when we start saying like, oh, whoa.
Right.
So now we gotta wait.
Right. For those of you who play flag football, it's kind of like flag football right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Boss has slowed the clip of Steel moving. If this was pads on, Steel could have cleaned a few people out. You know what I'm saying? He could have head on and cleaned a few people out. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's very flag football rules until Monday. That's when you're going to start banking inches. That's when the fights are going to start, the pushing, the shoving, and all that. Because then that's, like I said, you separate the mice from the men. And I'm guarantee you that's when Mozzie Mania is really going to step out, because that's his job. Same thing kind of with Hunter Lukey and a few others. So, but
we'll take one more call, bro. Boss Cowboy Sports with Jay Tuck, man. We talking about this training camp.
Oh, gee, what's going on, boss? It's Common Sense.
What's up, Common?
Ain't nothing much, man. Hey, I just want to say appreciate you and Tuck for all the work that y'all doing. My question is, well, it's not really a question. When Tuck get out there Monday, I think we need to keep an eye and see what the matchup of Mike McCarthy, Brian Schottenheimer is against Dan Quinn in that defense when we start putting the pads on. Because I think, in my opinion, so far from what I heard and what I've been seeing, that's the combination of Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer mixed in with what they're doing with these players is setting the game, is setting a different tone and atmosphere for these guys. So, we talk about Mike McCarthy and his play calling before, and Brian Schottenheimer and his play calling before. But the thing is, I don't think that either one of them has had the consistency of talent that we have on our team right now. So I just wanted to put that out there and see what y'all thoughts are, man. And I appreciate y'all, man. I can't wait to see Tuck out there on Monday, and I'll get back at y'all later, bro.
Yeah. And man, I appreciate that. That's a very good. And we go talk about that first thing Monday. That's a good conversation that we have to have, man. Thank you, Common Sense. That fight between Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn. That's a must see. And see, this is the beautiful thing I want to talk about also with the new media guys and what just happened with Aisha. Tuck saw all the practices. You know how? Law.
Do my people. Law, suit to law, salute to Shango. And not to dive too deep into it, but they don't want to see him. They're trying to, they're trying to keep it away a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? It just shows the power of the community, right? So salute to law, salute to Shango, right? Yeah. So and I think that's the beauty of it, because once we able to see it, we're able to dissect it. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what's going on. It's now some of this is by relation. Like so Shango, Law, they don't show everything. Like they don't show all the practices. Some of this stuff, you'll get the videos like, here you go, man. This is all the videos. So then we'll go in and we'll look at it. But it's what nobody else is seeing. You know what I mean?
Everyone, if you're on Twitter, you didn't see everything that everyone else is seeing.
Yeah, you saw what they posted. This is the thing I love about this community. The responsibility too. Like the way that Law and them not showing everything. Like some things they only gave to Tuck. Some things they only gave to me. You know? To where this is the video, but I don't really want to show this because this could be giving away what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. So that's what I love about this community is that the wisdom. It's like the guys that I rock with and the girls that I rock with, they know when to talk and when to chill. You know? So we able to do shows like this based on conversations we was having behind the scenes about stuff that we were seeing that nobody else is seeing that was sent to us. So it's just so just being a part of this community and being able to open it up to the people that follow these channels and kind of open up a couple of back doors, that other people might not be looking at. So we getting ready to get up out of here, bro. Is there anything else that you want to say before we get into the pads on Monday?
No, thus far, man, I'm excited from what I see. Like I said, the offense, everything just feels more in sync. It feels a little bit more upbeat, faster. The players are playing with more confidence and enjoyment and excitement out there. So I'm ready to see that take the next level once the pads come on. Defensively, we know what the defense is. The thing that I'm really going to be focusing on when I get to camp next week is just, some of the younger guys, the depth guys, because I know what J-Ron's going to be. I know who Mike is going to be, right? So some of the younger guys like your Mozzie Smith, some like your Marquise Bells, your Eric Scotts, even Deron Bland, in his second year. So I'm watching guys like that, really kind of see how they're doing. But like you said, the battle between Dan Quinn and Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy is going to be fun because it's going to help us really establish identity, which is something we've been wanting for so long. Like Jack has said it, when we make a play call, we want to know why we are calling it and the reason, and that's building the identity. You're not just calling the play just to call it. So, I think that's what I'm excited to see. Fun's going to start next week, and Cowboy Station, we appreciate y'all. It takes a lot of work to do the content that a lot of us do, so just support it. Like it, share it, comment, engage, because there's a lot of sacrifice that goes in. Law's been out there for since this past week. I'm gonna be out there for a full week. Like, we do a lot of different things, but it's for you guys, so that way you're exposed to everything that's going on with your Dallas Cowboys. So salute the content creators, salute to the new media, all media, I'll say it that way. Salute to all media, because it takes all of us. We're all in the same studio, just trying to build that hit record and get that 6th championship for the Dallas Cowboys. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all.
And Tuck, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. My YouTube channel, CFO Sports. We are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. If we get to that 10,000 mark before we play against the New York Giants, then 2 Cowboys fans are going to be going to the Jets game with me. So I think we're like 800 away, 700 away, or something like that. So that's the power of sharing the content, liking the content, because the more y'all share, people going to see it, they're going to like it, they're going to come, they're going to boost those numbers, and 2 of y'all might be selected to go to the Jets game with me. So come over to CFO Sports. We do a lot of film breakdown, a lot of interviews, a lot of live shows. Y'all know what we do over there. But I appreciate y'all, Cowboys Nation, for giving me the platform. Let's go, Earl Spence. Let's get this money tonight, man. Let's get this money tonight, Earl. You know what I'm saying? Represent Dallas, man.
Let's go. And I'm Boss Cowboy Sports, man, and you can find me on Boss Cowboy Sports. And I'm Tuck and I think we have twin channels where I think we give you high-level production, as well as we try to match that, not just with the glitz and glamour. We try to match that with a lot of thought, with a lot of details, with a lot of research. We could be brothers, like in terms of the way that I think our styles, So yeah, make sure you follow Boss Cowboy Sports, man. You go continue to get the research, the analysis, also some future upgrades that we got coming. Y'all stay on the lookout for DC Universe. So I'm just excited for all the things that's coming with the Cowboy community. D Shift, again, thank you for sending me the link. And everybody working together to send content and stuff that need to be put out there, man. And I just appreciate the family environment that we have in this community. But until then, man, it's Boss Cowboy Sports with CFO. Y'all stay up. Peace.